Hello guys, I'm back from another video and today we're talking about what if Deku was reincarnated into Genshin Impact. So, in the last video we talked about how, after arriving at Inazuma, Izuku was told by, one of his girlfriends, aka Xiangling, that she wants to go to a dango shop. After agreeing to that, Izuku would leave as he would tell both Hutao and, the world to basically take care of Klee. And after being told of this, they would agree and Izuku would start leaving with Xiangling. Meanwhile, currently, nearby the Dango shop, apparently, you know, apparently Miss Raiden Shogun over there is basically trying to find Izuku after sensing him nearby and would try to find him thanks to the help of her, enhanced senses and because she's an Archon. She would sense Izuku basically in, the Dango shop as she would go towards it. So, currently with Izuku and, Xiangling is basically outside as Izuku is basically ordering the Dango. After ordering them, Raiden Shogun would appear right inside of the, restaurant and would see, Izuku there. She would instantly rush towards him and would basically kiss him, which caused everybody to just be confused because basically Raiden is their god. So, yeah, that would actually be weird. Just imagine your patron god is basically kissing a random stranger, more specifically a foreigner to be more precise. Yeah, that would just be weird. Wait for a second. So, because of that, let's just say when everybody saw that, they were pretty shocked. And when, Xiangling basically came into the restaurant to basically, check out the commotion, when she saw that Raiden Shogun is basically kissing Izuku, oh boy, she was angry and would start arguing with her. After a bit of explaining and, a bit of reluctance from Xiangling, she would agree as they would, sort of shake hands, even though they still pretty much hate each other, instantly super pretty much hate each other. Oh boy. So, after, meeting with, Raiden Shogun, she would start to leave and say goodbye to Izuku. While they were basically going towards, their group and basically giving everybody the dango, apparently Kujisara would arrive, basically flapping her wings to signal that she, was there. After Izuku looked towards her, Kujisara would basically go towards him and would basically hug him and, let's just say, Noelle's yandere instincts would instantly kick into high gear as she's currently planning to basically murder the girl. As Izuku would explain what happened and how he, sort of, got a harem and also got a new girl. So after explaining, let's just say all of them were pretty much, sort of agreeing with it, but sort of still pretty much angry at him. Except for, for obvious reasons, wait for a second. Yeah, except for Lumine, for obvious reasons. And so, after, a bit of talking with, Kujisara, she would basically leave as everybody's a bit angry at her, for obvious reasons. I mean, they basically tried to, kiss and also, do a little bit of affection to their significant other. I mean, you would probably be mad as well if that happened. So yeah, after that, they would start leaving to where they're gonna be meeting up with Toma. After arriving there, Toma would basically meet up with everybody and would be, pretty surprised seeing that seeing that Izuku has a lot of girls. And when he saw Klee, well, he was pretty much scared knowing that, maybe Izuku gonna go pregnant. And would explain, pretty shortly that Klee is not his child, at all. So, yeah. So, after that, they would start leaving to go to the Kamisato estate. After arriving there and also meeting up with, with Ayaka, he would also meet her brother, aka, his name was Ayato. And apparently Ayato is wanting to basically, fight him. And after being told of this, Izuku would agree. And because it's already nighttime now, they would decide to get some sleep and basically, have that spar tomorrow. So yeah, that is where we basically ended off the episode, where Izuku is basically sleeping. So yeah, let us talk about what happens next. So, as Izuku would wake up early, he would see all of his girls pretty much sleeping as well, as Izuku would wake them up. After waking up, they would decide to, just change their clothes, and they would change into Inazuman type clothes, including Izuku, which he was pretty nostalgic about, because remember, he was originally from Japan. And, Inazuma's basically just Japan on steroids. Not gonna lie. So, as after, wearing their, I guess you can say sort of yukatas, or in this case, for them is like kimonos, not really kimonos, I mean, it's basically like, casual versions of like, kimonos, I guess you could say. I don't know what you actually call them, but, let's just call them that for now. So, after basically wearing those, they would see, Ayaka and, Ayato basically eating. As Ayato would say this, "Ah, Izuku, and your harem has awakened." As Izuku would say this, "Yeah, anyway, we should probably eat breakfast." As he would say this, "Yeah, we should." As he would clap his hands as a few maids would arrive. As these maids would basically bring out some of the food as Izuku would start shying down with, with the rest of his girls. Both, not really both, but more specifically, Amber doesn't really know how to use her, chopsticks, which was a bit hard for her. But for the rest, well, because remember, Noelle did came to Inazuma once, and she does know how to use, chopsticks. Both, both Xiangling and also, what is her name? Both Xiangling and Hu Tao basically don't know how to use chopsticks. And, for Lumine, remember, we basically teach her, or in this case, for, Izuku, he actually teach her how to use chopsticks. But if you're wondering, how about Klee? Izuku is basically feeding her, basically like a baby. As a while basically eating and also helping, Amber how to use chopsticks, they would start going towards the, to the arena, more specifically the training field. As Ayato would say this, "So, I've been waiting to try and fight you for a long time now, Izuku." As Izuku would say this, "Huh, I'm guessing you're pretty excited. After all, I did defeat your sister." As he would say this, "Right, now," as he would start grabbing his sword as he would say this, "Now, let us fight, Izuku Midoriya." After saying that, he would basically grab his sword as he would start charging towards him, with his sword basically in hand. Instead of using a training sword, instead he's using his actual sword. So this time Izuku would start trying. So Izuku would start using his regular sword, specifically, not the, not the Blade of Tempest or this Tempest Blade. Instead he's using, the Sword of Gaia, as he would start slicing, not really slicing, but more like, clashing with, with Ayato. Ayato and him are basically evenly matched, sort of. I mean, Ayato is sort of getting, backed away a little bit, thanks to the help of Izuku's immense strength, thanks to the help of his, vision over there, by the way, sort of gave him, not really sort of, but more like gave him enhanced strength. Yeah. So, as Izuku was doing this, both Toma and, and Ayaka were pretty much impressed. Because Ayaka, for obvious reasons, doesn't really know how to defeat her brother. She tried many times, but she was a bit, a bit too confident as she would be defeated. As for Toma was pretty excited seeing Izuku actually fight, because it was his first time actually seeing, Ayato, being backed up to a corner, sort of. As Izuku's basically still clashing with him, basically using his, sword in combat. As he would say this, "Damn, you're strong. Now, let's try this out." As he would start using his ult, as you'd say, Kamisato art. Susiyu. Or at least I think that's the translation. I'm not really good with Japanese, sort of. As after saying that, the area would somewhat, somehow remind me of, just imagine, Gyuyu's, 11th form of, water breathing, Dead Calm. Where, the area would slowly become, almost like water, where it's basically just, dead calm as the water is basically just, just, not moving at all. As after doing that, he would start, slashing at the area where Izuku is, as Izuku would move out of the way. After seeing this, he would say, "Impressive. Nobody has ever, dodged my attack before." As Izuku would say this. "Well, I guess there's a first for everything. Now," as Izuku would say this. "Now, Ouroboros." After saying that, a large dragon made out of water would appear, as he would say this. "Lightning Dragon." As the lightning dragon would start, start electrocuting the area. More specifically, the Ouroboros, aka, the water dragon, would start being mixed with, a little bit of, you know, basically electro energy, as you would see this now. Kirin. After saying that, the large dragon made out of water would slam into Ayato, as Ayato would, somehow, sort of dodge out of the way. As after you did that, you would say, "That's quite strong. Huh. Let's try this out." As he would start using that technique once again, as Izuku would start, getting out of the way once again, as you would say this. "Huh. You're strong as well. But I think it's time for me to end the show right now." After saying that, he would start, putting his hand in the ground, as he would say this. "Planetary devastation. Burning hell." After saying that, a large, piece of debris would start floating up into the sky, as several debris around it would start, start combining together and creating a little, meteor. Not the actual freaking size of meteor like, fucking Madara or something. More like, about the size of like, yeah, just about the size of a Honda Civic. Why not? So, after doing that, he would start, pointing the meteor towards, at Ayato, as Ayato would dodge out of the way. As Ayato would say this. "You're strong, but," as Izuku would say this. "But what?" After he heard that, heard Izuku basically behind him, he would see that he's pinned down. More specifically, that that Izuku's sword is basically near his neck, as he would say this. "You're fast." As Izuku would say this. "Yeah, I get that a lot." After saying that, he would say this. "I guess I lost." "Very well, Izuku. You won." After saying that, Izuku would say this. "Okay, good. Anyway, bye, I guess." As after saying that, he would say this. "Alright, that was quite the battle." After saying that, Ayaka would say this. Uh, um, "Brother, are you okay?" As Izuku would just basically just say this. "Oh, don't worry, I didn't do any lasting damage. Trust me, I ain't that type of person." After saying that, all of his girls would basically congratulate him. As for, Klee was pretty much, having sparkling eyes, as she'd say this. "Can we go fish blasting?" As Izuku would say this. "No." As she would say this. "Come on," she would say. As Izuku would say this. Anyway, guys. Hey, Ayato. As Ayato would say this. Yeah, Izuku? As Izuku would say this. "Well, I've been wondering about the whole fireworks festival." As he would say this. Yes. Apparently Yoimiya is going to be preparing the fireworks." As Izuku would say this. "Oh, cool, then can I go see her?" As all the girls would hear this, mostly, the ones that really don't know, anybody from this country, as all of them would say this. "Who is this, what is her name? Again. Who is this Yoimiya person exactly?" said, said a yandere ass, Noel. As, also, Huta would say this. "Yeah, can you please ask?" As her body would start, around her was flames, as the ghosts are basically having, like, an aneurysm at this point. As Izuku would say this. "Oh, she's just a friend. I've been wondering to basically ask her if she can play with Klee." As one of them would say this. "I see." As one of them would say this. "Okay then," said, Noel with a bit of hesitation, as Izuku would say this. "Don't worry, she's not a part of the harem. And besides, she's more like a sort of sister to me." As one of them would say this. "Huh. I guess you can say that," said, what is her name? Said Lumine, as Izuku would say this. Anyway, So, we should probably get going. So, after saying goodbye to, Ayato and, Ayaka, they would start leaving to go where apparently, Yoimiya is. After arriving at her house, or in this case the workshop, as Izuku would say this, "Hey, Ayaka, not Ayaka, I meant, hey, Yoimiya, are you there?" As Yoimiya would not respond. As, after a few seconds, they would start to hear the clangs and, the sound of something breaking as a person would basically come out of the door. This person was Ayaka with a bit of a messy, a bit of a bad hair day to say the least. As she would say this, "Oh, hey Zuku," she would say, as Zuku would say this, "Hey, Yoimiya, it's nice to see you again," as she would say this. "Yeah, by the way, who are these girls behind you?" As all the girls are basically looking at her. Some of them having murderous eyes in their faces, or, you know, dead calm but still murderous eyes on her, like on their faces. Except for, Lamine for obvious reasons, as Izuku would say this. "Oh, they're just my girlfriends." As after hearing that, she would say, wait, you're in that type of relationship?" As Izuku would say this, "Don't worry, I'm not letting you in or anything like that. I just want you to take care of, her." As he would point towards, Klee. As Klee would say this, "Hi, I'm Klee." After saying that, she would say, "Oh, hello there." As she would say this, um, "Do you have fireworks?" As she would say this, "Yeah." As her eyes would start to sparkle, as she would say, "Can we play?" As she would say this, Sure, but I'm currently busy right now making fireworks." As she would say this, "Can I help?" As Ayaka would just be surprised after hearing that, as she would say, "Wait, that's a bit dangerous. I mean," as Izuku would say this, "Oh, don't worry." As she would say this, "But Izuku, she's a child," as Izuku would stop her, as he would say this. "Yeah, a child that literally has the ability to create bombs, so," as she would say this. "Wait, excuse me, what?" As Izuku would explain her abilities. Just imagine her face after hearing those abilities. Oh god. As she would say this, "I see, Izuku." As Izuku would say this, "Yeah, Ayaka?" As she would say this, "Well, after hearing her abilities, so I wanted to ask you this." As Izuku would say this, "Yeah?" As she would say this, I know." As she would say this, "Well, I sort of got an idea for a brand new firework, so I need you to get the ingredients for me. And for you, as she would say this, Klee." As Klee would say, after saying her name, she would say, "Ah, yes, Klee. I guess you can help me with that. And for the rest of you girls, you can do whatever you want. You can stay here for now." As they would say this, "Guess I'll be helping Izuku," said Lumine. As one of them would say this, specifically, said Noelle. As Noelle would say this, "Sure, I'll help out." As after saying that, Izuku would say this, "Cool. Hey, both, I meant all three of you guys." As he would point towards, I think, let me just check. All three of them, specifically Amber, Hutao, and, Shangling, as he would see this. "Take care of, her." As you would point towards, Klee, as all of them would salute, as they would say this. "Don't worry, we won't let her, explode anything, I swear." Said, you know, said mostly to, what is her name? Yeah, Amber. After saying that, Izuku could say this. "Good. Now, see you guys." As after getting the list from, from Yoimiya, they would start leaving to go towards that direction of the ingredients. Apparently, one of the ingredients was a special powder made from a special, bug. As Izuku is trying to find a specific bug, I don't really know if it's an actual, if there's an actual bug that literally explodes, but remember, this place is literally filled with creatures that literally have the ability to basically explode anything. Or, a child that literally has the ability to basically become a terrorist. Oh god, so, let's just imagine there's like, bugs that basically are able to create, powders. Like, for example, one that literally creates, water powder, I guess you could say. The other can literally make sand, something of that sort. So, yeah, Shizuku is trying to find the, the gunpowder bug. For Lamine, she's also helping out with the help of, of Noelle as well. So, after a while, basically trying to find it, they would arrive at a large looking, area. As in the middle, they would see a large tree with a few, of these bugs. As Izuku would say this. Finally. As one of them would say this. Izuku, I'm gonna be staying over there. And for, Noelle, as Noelle would say this. Yeah, I'll be staying here as well. As Izuku would say this. Sure. After saying that, Izuku would start going towards the nest. And under the nest was a full, pile of, I guess you can say sort of gunpowder. So, after getting this gunpowder, they would start leaving as they would go to the next location. They're supposed to be getting this special dye that she was out of stock with. Apparently, this dye is going to be, I guess you can say sort of, reddish yellowish dye. Like a fiery red, sort of. As Izuku would start going towards, not really city, but more like, a little village, where apparently the actual, dye actually, first originated, and it's actually the best quality of, that specific dust, because the rest of the other dust, or at least the dust that is actually made by other areas, well, they're not really as good quality or good color. So, after arriving there, Izuku would see a lot of people staring at them, mostly because they know that, Izuku is basically the savior, or at least the victor of, the Inazuman War, aka, the Vision Hunt Decree, as everybody's basically just looking at them with, awe. As while he was basically walking, he would see a familiar face. This familiar face was basically just going around town, basically having a bit of fun with the help of his other gang. But something surprises him. Right next to him was a girl with green hair and, pinkish eyes, wearing some sort of half mask. As he would say this. It's been a while. As after, hearing, the sound, he would look towards, Ito. As Ito would notice him, as you'd say this. It's been a while, Izuku. So, as Izuku would say this. Oh, it's been a while, I meant, Ayato, not Ayato, I meant Ito, god damn it! As Ito would say this. Yeah, it's been a while. So, where are these two? I mean, who is this girl? As he would basically point towards, Noelle. As Noelle would say this. Oh, the name's Noelle. I'm Izuku's girlfriend, she would say. As he would say this. Wow, I didn't know that you have a second girlfriend. As he would say this. Yeah, I never really got to tell you that. As you'd say this. Anyway, as the rest of his gang are basically, just looking at him, as they would say, it's been a while, Mr. Izuku, as Izuku would say this. Oh, just call me Izuku. As the girl would still be looking at him. As Izuku would say this. Mind telling me why you're staring at me? As she would say this. Just curious, to say the least. As after saying that, a certain, yandere maid over there, aka, aka Noelle, is basically just looking at her saying, can I please stab her right in the chest right now? So, after, thinking of that thought, she would say, oh, I never really introduced myself. I'm the sort of, second in command of the Arataki gang. The name's Kokushu, I think that's her name, let me just check. Her name, or at least, my name is Koki Shinobu, as Izuku would say this. Nice to meet you, Shinobu-san. She would say this. Nice to meet you, Izuku. As after, talking, they would start leaving, as they would explain why they were here. As after saying goodbye, Cookie would say goodbye to him, but would have some sort of agenda. More like have this weird looking face, to say the least. Even though he couldn't see, her actual face, not fully at least because of her mask, but in actuality, her face was more of a longing face. Maybe planning to add her to the harem, I don't know. Maybe vote in the comments, maybe. Because when I first saw her design, it's just, dang. God, I fell in love with her at the first sight. Like, damn, why is she so cute? Like, seriously, I have this like sort of obsession with those types of girls. Not gonna lie. So, after talking to to Ito's gang, Izuku would start leaving as he would start going towards the shop where the actual dye is. After arriving there, they would see the dye as Izuku would basically order it. After saying that the owner, after saying that, the owner would basically give him the dust as he would basically pay in like Mora. So, after paying it, he would start leaving with the help of his, two other girls, aka Lumine and, Noelle. So, after leaving, they would start going towards the last location where they're going to be getting their final ingredient. Apparently, this ingredient is a special type of, fiber, or in this case, rope that is made in the mountains by a certain group of individuals. And apparently, this rope is pretty flammable, and not only that, pretty good for fireworks. So, after, arriving at the mountains, which, by the way, sort of spelled disaster after they first came in. First of all, while they got it, like, go towards the mountain, they were, attacked by a few Hiloshos. Then after that, they got attacked by a few, let's just say, interesting individuals, to say the least. Let's just say these interesting individuals were samurai looking, and some of them even resemble robots. And after that, they would finally arrive at the top where they met up with that certain group. After getting the rope, they would start going, trailing down back to the mountains, but, apparently somebody sort of, how do we say this? One of them, specifically, Lumine would sort of fall down and would cause, her leg to basically have a sprain. So, after carrying her towards, to the ground, they would start leaving, basically, where Izuku's basically piggyback riding her. So, after a while, basically, going around, they would, arrive back at, her home, aka, at Yoimiya's home. After, that, they would arrive in the open, like, in the door, as you would knock the door. Not really knock, as in, knocking on the door. As Ayaka would not Ayaka, I meant, I meant Yoimiya, god damn it. As Yoimiya would say this. Izuku, you're back. As Izuku would say this. Here, we got the ingredients for the fireworks. As she would say this. Good. Now, come in. We're gonna be having dinner. As after getting into the, house, Izuku would see a lot of his, girls basically eating, as Izuku would say this. So, as she would say this, oh, don't worry, I actually have some food for you guys too. After grabbing some, pieces of fish and also some rice, they would slowly start to eat. So, after eating, Yoimiya would say this, well, because it's pretty late and, it's probably going to be dangerous for you to go out at night, mostly because it's basically a rural area, you're going to be staying here with me, guys. After saying that, Izuku would say this. Wait, what? As she would say this. Yeah, that's what I said. You're going to be staying here. As one of them would say this. I guess there's no choice. As Klee would say this. Yeah, I can't wait. After saying that, Izuku would say this. Oh, Klee, have you been? As she would say this. It's been pretty good. I actually been learning how to make fireworks. As Izuku would start to have a little bit of, concern after hearing that. Because he would start to think that she's planning to make fucking nukes. Like, just imagine this. A little bit older-ish, Klee would start making fireworks, but these fireworks would explode to the point that they'd basically cause another freaking war. Yeah, just imagine, World War II style like weaponry. In this case, freaking bombs. Oh boy, that would just be concerning as all freaking hell. So, after thinking about that thought, he would think, oh god, please don't, please don't, please don't. He would basically say in his mind multiple times, as Izuku would say this. Either way, we're gonna be getting some sleep now. As Ayaka would say this. I meant Yoimiya, goddammit, as Yoimiya would say this. Oh, sure. As after, gathering some stuff, which he just pushes out of the way, and would basically bring in the large futon. As not Ayaka, I meant Yoimiya. Why am I confusing them? Why am I confusing them? They just have... I don't know why am I confusing them for some odd reason. Anyway, so Yoimiya would basically sleep on her bed and would instantly go to sleep. As for Izuku and, for the rest of his girls, they would also fall to sleep, as Izuku is basically, just like sleeping instantly thanks to the help of, all of his girls, basically, sleeping right beside him. And as for, Klee, Klee is basically sleeping on the bed with, Yoimiya. And as for Paimon, Paimon is obviously sleeping, nearby. Specifically near, near some fireworks, which is concerning for her because she's basically, shivering in fear, thinking Paimon thinks this is a bad idea in many ways. So, yeah. So, after that, we basically end off the episode right off here. So, yeah. So, I hope you liked the video, comment, and subscribe, and I hope to see you guys next time. Bye-bye!